I generally don't do VOD reviews like a day after. I think it's a lot. I think it's hard to get as much value when you do a VOD like the next day. It's better to do it right after a game. So going into game 2, you take 15 minutes to do your review, and then you get into game 2. That way, the context of the game is like still fresh in your mind. You know exactly what you were thinking. You know how the game felt at like different stages of the game, and you can pretty clearly remember what the comms were like. What everyone was saying, because that's a big part of review as well. Is what were we talking about at this point in time? Not just what was going on the map, but like what were we thinking about? Were we setting up the next play in advance, or were we just reacting to the map? Right.
Yeah.
Those are things I like to talk about a lot in review. But
real quick, doesn't Rabby have like he has like something that allows you to record from his perspective. So if we really need it, we could. If we really need the audio, we could just use that if you want, and then we could also play the VOD. So that way we could get both like what we were thinking during the game and
Oh, do you use Loki?
Yeah.
Or OBS? Okay, cool.
If you want. If you want.
That's an option. Although if we'll see how this goes, but if you guys want, I'd be willing to sit in on a scrim with you guys and run a scrim set for you guys. Because I'm only coaching the one team right now. Sorry, I gotta take a drink of water.
Go ahead, it's fine.
Okay. This was game 1, right? This is the right one?
The Nocturne one, yes. That Nocturne, Nocturne with it. Hold on a second. Yeah, this was game 1.
So this draft is a little interesting. When you pick this draft, actually, I'll talk about this generally. As soon as you finish your draft, the first thing that you guys should be talking about is like, what's your win condition? What are you looking to do in the early game? What is the plan? What do we have to do to win this game? So
okay, for this game, like our game plan was like we're gonna play through our mid and top, because in this scenario, like we were thinking like Trundle's, since he's a tank buster, he should be able to just beat Sion super hard in the side lane, and then we can get LeBlanc ahead with LeBlanc Nocturne against Syndra.
Yep.
So we were just gonna ignore bot lane early on and just like play through our mid and top. And like late game, we were also like talking about not grouping as much, because we just want Trundle to accrue as much pressure as he can in the side lane, because I feel like we thought that he can like 2v1 like mid to late game if he just ultied Sion if Zin ever came.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the game plan that we had.
Yeah, that's actually the right game plan. It's because there's a couple things to consider. One is that you win side lanes, right? Trundle LeBlanc beats Sion, Syndra in side lanes when you add the Nocturne pressure, right? Mm-hmm. You take away TP advantage from the enemy team. You can pressure side lanes from Fog, and just in general, Trundle and particularly LeBlanc are very good side laners. One problem is LeBlanc should take TP this game, because you want to side lane, right? If you don't take TP, you never allow yourself to play weak side, and that's a problem. If the right matchup for you is on the weak side of the map, and you can create advantages on the weak side of the map, like if both sides have, say we're dancing around a dragon, and like Syndra's up here and you're up here, you want that situation, right? You want this isolated 1v1 matchup, particularly with Nocturne off map. But if you don't have TP, then she can TP to the team fight, and you don't exactly push towers very fast, right? So this would be a TP LeBlanc game, for sure.
Yeah, I need to take TP in general on LeBlanc, because that's what all the LCS players do. They don't really take Ignite.
True. I wouldn't do things just because LCS does it, because it's a very, very different environment. But That is generally the logic that they use. That's why they do it. It's also just OP for lane. Who just joined, by the way?
Top laner, Chief.
Top laner. What's up, Chief? I'm Enzo. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, we just got started, so can you see my stream all right?
I think he's driving right now.
I'm like in the middle of driving.
Yeah, he's driving. He just wants
I
to
gotcha.
listen in
Back home.
right now.
So I'll
Cool, no worries. No worries.
try to check in and out.
Your mic is picking up a lot though, so but that's all right.
Yeah, I'll just mute myself.
So yeah, that's kind of the win con, right? You kind of nailed it there. You want to play through your side laners, and Nocturne is sort of your primary tool to do that. Another reason that you really want to play side lanes is the Ziggs and the Karma, right?
Mhm.
It's almost impossible to break mid towers against the Ziggs. So you want to stretch the map. It also means that Rift Herald has a significantly higher value this game because you can never siege a Ziggs, but Rift Herald, if you get an early Rift Herald swap, and if you can 2 Herald, you can always break that mid outer. So if you find an opportunity to take an early Rift Herald swap around 7:30, then you should take it. Right?
Okay.
Let's go through the game. Jungler is not here, but I would like to ask him where he thinks he should start. Where do you guys think he should start, actually?
Since we're playing like mid top, so he should start bot lane and then go top.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's right. And it,
Mm.
also because even if neither of you leash, the Ziggs Karma lane will always push in.
Mhm.
There's not a lot Ezreal Leona can do about that. So you just kind of accept it and you play towards your top side. He should full clear. And it looks like they did leash. So that's a mistake on his part because he should be playing for his bot side. Not sure why he chose not to. He's playing towards the Scion and that's wrong.
Okay. Yeah, I took a really bad trade there.
I shouldn't have went for that trade because she has TP. I got screwed.
Oh, is this the trade kill?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go
traded.
over this actually.
I thought I
um,
could get in now.
Yeah, I could tell. You ended up like misplaying it or miscalculating it, but in general, I actually really like the aggression, but I'll show you what the problem was. So if you think if you're certain you can get out, this is fine to go for this trade kill. But if you're like 50-50, or if you're like maybe I get out, maybe I don't, you want to shove this some more because if you trade, your wave is fucked, right? Even if she doesn't TP, it's probably fucked. So let's see what happens. You're not in a- Yeah, you're not in a position yet to deny her enough with this solo kill. But if you were to like wait and crash this third wave that's coming up, and then go for that dive,
Yeah.
then she misses like way more, right?
And if it's 1-for-1, it's fine. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fuck the auto.
And she
TP'd. If I TP, would have been fine.
she doesn't even need to TP here.
Really?
She could have walked because this wave is frozen for her, so she kind of wasted that. That's all right. So we're playing towards top side. All right, what's he doing? Not top laner. What do we think Sion's doing right now?
Getting vision.
Cheater?
Invading.
Yep. One of two things. He's either getting vision or he's taking a cheater.
Okay.
Which one should he do?
Peter,
Cheater.
Ellis.
No.
No.
Really?
I I mean, he could probably like look to pressure jungle so he can give his jungler the scuttle crab. Like that's
Yes.
also an option.
He should crash this wave later, just like as late as he can, so that Trundle is stuck here and he can move first for Scuttle, because we know that both bot lanes leashed, which means the junglers started bot side, and they will meet at the top crab.
Hmm.
That's a bad time to cheater because you're in base when your jungler needs you for crab,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
When you cheater is when the jungler is on the is when you have the opposite situation, right? Either one jungler is coming top side and one is going bot side, and so like no one's gonna fight for the crab, or if they're just both going to the opposite side of the map.
Okay. Yeah.
But if they're both coming towards your side of the map, you need to be able to contest the scuttle. Now imagine if Sion's standing right here, right?
Yeah.
Looks a little different.
Did he even cheater? No.
He just stayed.
He just
What did he do? Wait,
He didn't do anything. He just I guess he just walked back.
I'm curious. What did he do? So he's overshoving this wave. He can just slow it down. Because he's always gonna crash this wave. He doesn't need to rush it, right?
Mhm.
Actually, the later he crashes this, the better, because that means that the wave is here. The wave is stuck on the tower for longer, and he has more time because the scuttle's not up yet, right? 315. So the closer to 315 we crash this from Science POV, the better. I'm so curious what he did though with this time.
I mean, he already has vision. Oh, it's gone. Oh,
What?
he's scared.
I don't know, man.
He should
That's not it.
Hmm.
Yeah, he should be at Scuttle right now.
Yeah, he's trolling. He's the reason that his team is losing right now. Okay, so we have a wave crashing mid. Okay, so as a team, because this is one of those things, like I'd love to hear comms at this point in time. Like, what are we talking about? I guess let's go back to. Also, I want to go back to our POV. Let's go back to like here. I want to go back to right when he resets.
Your pillar for
If they leash. Good. Well done.
go.
Alright. Good job, man.
Okay, I don't know why I thought that was back. That's not back.
He doesn't have a ward, so.
Oh, he didn't reset. Okay. Just in general, then, at this point in time, what are you guys thinking about?
Mm, what are we thinking about? I mean, I guess we're actually thinking about maybe taking the dragon.
Okay. And so to take a dragon, what do you need to do?
We need bot and mid prio.
Yep. And that needs to be timed with the jungler's pathing towards the dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the most important thing for that to happen is your jungler needs to let you know, A, whether or not he wants to contest this dragon. If he says he wants to contest this dragon or fight for this dragon, then when he says that, his laners need to tell him what their availability for that is, right? Like, I can have like he needs to tell you that he wants to do it, and he needs to tell you what time. And then the laners need to respond with, I can do that at that time, or like, I'm not going to have prio at that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or to get prio, here's what I need, right? Like, I need you to come help me choke my wave. I need to get a reset off.
Real.
I'll take a -6 for the reset or something. But if you want to contest the dragon, you need
6 minutes should be fine.
both lanes to have prio so that they
Oh,
can move at
Zen
the
is
same
bot
time.
lane.
He
You
took
need to
your
get vision
charge.
first. Ideally, first dragon's not as important. And your jungler needs to be there at the same time. You also need to track TPs. So TP advantage TP advantage is a huge part of taking dragon.
Yeah, right now like we had the top TP advantage. So this
Mhm.
dragon should have been pretty free for us.
Yes and no. If like let's pretend that Nocturne wanted to do this on spawn, and so instead of doing the scuttle, he reset and walked straight to dragon. Would he be able to do it right now?
No. He needs he needs level 6, I think.
Not to do dragon. He doesn't need it.
No.
Um,
If an ensuing fight breaks out.
Ideally, you're in a situation where there's never going to be a fight over dragon, because if you have the bot lane stuck under tower catching a double wave, you have the mid lane stuck under tower catching a wave, or recalling because they took a bad trade, and you have TP advantage, no fight's ever going to break out, right? Because you've put yourself in a macro situation with good macro that no fight will ever happen. You put them in a situation where just the cost of fighting is like not worth the dragon.
Yeah.
And not just like winning it or losing it, just the cost of even being there, right? That's how you win with macro. Conversely, though, if we were to go back to this point in time, this would have been a good time for Xin Zhao to do the dragon, right? Because bot's getting shoved in, we have no vision anywhere over here, and our mid has to recall with no TP, right? Like if Xin wanted to do the dragon right now, right on spawn, he absolutely can, and there's nothing you can do about it, right?
I mean, we were also like saying like Ziggs didn't. Oh, actually, Ziggs has TP. Never mind. What am I saying?
True.
Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say like their mid and bot didn't have any mana, but their Ziggs had TP, so it didn't matter.
That was a good choice to take TP too.
Yeah.
All right, we're kind of playing to our win con here. This is good. Freezing top. This is also good. Okay. Sorry, I have to like watch all the different lanes at once. Okay, so we see LeBlanc stacking a wave. This is good. Is there anything we can do with this double wave? Any play we can make off the back of it?
I mean, he can like push it in and then maybe roam bot or top. Well, just roam bot actually. If like we can blow flashes and stuff, we can probably do dragon for free.
You could do dragon. It probably wouldn't be free though. Trundle's got so Trundle has TP advantage, but he doesn't want to TP away from a freeze, right? So he doesn't want to come for that. How much gold does she have? Okay, not a lot. You could do dragon, but it's kind of scuffed. I wouldn't do it. One thing you don't want to do though is just sit in the mid lane, particularly on vision. So I'll show you from their POV. Okay, a wave is crashed. So what's she gonna do? You showing there answers their question, right? Whereas in their head, they have to play sort of like this guessing game, like Schrodinger's cat, right? Where you could be top lane, or you could be bot lane, or you could be resetting, or you could be sitting in a bush. Like they have to play around all of these possibilities, and then they can like cross out all of those possibilities the second that you showed, right? You don't have to show on this wave early. You can just be in fog somewhere, or do you have a trinket up? No trinket up.
So hide in fog I don't.
Yeah, you could be in fog for, and it wasn't like you didn't have to be there for a long time, but every second makes a difference because it's influencing their decision making, right?
As long as
Since-
I can.
Yeah, exactly. I would probably have like shadowed bot side and just like walked halfway down river,
Yeah.
waited to
that's always a good
see
idea.
what's Syndra gonna do with the mid wave. Do I have to get back in time? Like, is she hard shoving it, or is she slow pushing it? Do I have like plenty of time? Is the bot lane not respecting the possibility of me being here? If so, like I'm halfway down river and they haven't backed off, like maybe I can make a play, right? Whereas sitting in mid lane doesn't really give you any options. You're just kind of there, especially when they see you.
Been like immediately on Karma with Nocturne.
That's nice. That's free. Take the free dragon.
Ziggs was not using his mana properly. The jungler inted.
It's turning into a little bit of a fiesta. Okay, off this reset because we're taking a bit of a team reset here. What do we want to do?
For now, like everything's good. We just farm.
Also, this is greedy to stay for this plate.
Yeah.
Um,
Should have reset, huh?
see if you get punished for it, because you could. I guess Syndra was far enough away. But yeah, I don't think you're getting punished for it. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. If she was a little bit closer, it's really bad. Because what would happen is you would get the plate, but if she was like, and you calculated it well, so this is a bit of a hypothetical. But if she was like 5 seconds closer, then she like hard shoves this wave, crashes it, and then you've just like finished your recall. And so you got the plate, but you missed the wave, right?
Yeah.
That's not what you want.
Okay.
But I think you read the situation pretty well. So
I mean, I didn't really like read it. I just took the play.
all
I
right,
should think more about it though. You're right.
because I've coached. 80 carries have this problem. Where they'll stay for this bot plate. They do this all the time. I've coached UCL and like UPL and PG 80 carries that do this. They will stay for a plate, get the plate, but miss the wave. So they missed like the same amount of gold, but also the XP, right?
Mhm.
And they lose the tempo, right? Because they're not on map for longer, which is bad.
So the wave is worth more than a play.
Oh yeah, it's similar in gold.
But
Like,
the
it's a little bit-
EXP so much.
It's a little bit less in gold, but the XP is so valuable. And being on map, like being available for a play, is value as well. Whereas like a plate, you're standing here on vision hitting a plate, everyone knows what you're doing, and then they know you're gonna reset after that. And so they just have more time to be able to do something. Whereas if you've recalled and you're back on the map, you could catch the wave and then be available for a play sooner. Also, a wave, when a wave gets missed, that gold can never be gained again. Like when the wave is gone, it's gone. You can't get it. Whereas a plate technically is still gold that's available on the map, right? I don't know if that makes any sense, but
Yeah, it does.
like
that's
you
fair.
could get that gold in the future,
Yeah.
whereas the wave you'll never get it again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm watching from their POV. I'm sorry. Go back. Okay, so why were you topside here? Hold on.
Top side.
Yeah, Leona.
I think the reason was I was gonna head there, and then Trundle also comes with me, or Nocturne also comes with me, and we could maybe look for a pick. But in the end, no one with me, so I decided to just go top and ward, and then maybe look for a pick mid. Just
Why are you choosing to ward topside?
toward top side because there's nothing to do bot side, and we see Karma bottom. So I always have. So my thought process was, we have Nocturne was also slightly heading there, and Trundle is just backing, so we could technically, I could ward up the jungle, ward up the path, and then by that time, Trundle and Nocturne will probably be ready to gank, and then we could look for a pick on Scion, and also that Karma is still bot side, who hasn't recall yet, so I have to first answer. Even if Xin Zhao is there, it's gonna be a 3v2, so we win because they don't have Karma. LeBlanc's mid. Ziggs is bot, but most likely Zig is back base, but most likely heading back to catch a wave that is crashing into his wave.
Here's the problem with that. I kind of see where you're going with it, but it's not correct at all.
Okay.
And here's why. It's completely reliant on Scion making a mistake,
Okay.
right? If Scion plays well, he doesn't extend himself to let himself get ganked. The other reason is because, okay, two more reasons. One is you said Nocturne was topside, kind of, right?
Yeah, he was. I thought he was heading topside. I might have not communicated with him well enough to tell him, oh, we could look for a pick on Scion.
Yeah, but even if you don't communicate with him, you can know exactly where he's going because all three of his bot side camps are up, right? And he's gonna do 1, 2, 3, and then he's gonna be on the bottom side of the map and looking to make a play there, right? You can kind of tell where your jungler is gonna go at all times because they love to do all of their camps in a row. He kind of skipped Gromp, that's fine, but like he did Wolves, then he's gonna do Raptors. He'll do Red. He'll do Krugs, ideally, right? He might look for a play mid if one opens itself up, but also you're not there for the play mid if he sees it. In the mid game, as a support, you really want to be grouped with your jungler because plays are going to happen around the two of you. He's the smite, right? Like he's gonna be there for the objectives. In this game he's the Nocturne ulti. Like you're always going to make a play with your Nocturne, and you're the vision, right? You set the play up, and he makes the play. Plays generally play just on average. Like even if you didn't think any further into this, plays on average will always go better if the support and the jungler are paired up.
That I know. That I pretty much know. But quick question, because we already know that Zig's back, won't it be the same thing? Like even if I start hitting bot side, I will probably be with Nocturnes. Like I'll probably be with Nocturne, but Ziggs is probably still like around what tier 3 turrets. Like what difference? Okay, yeah, he's tier 2. Like I think we're kind of seeing him back, and it's like, oh, maybe we could look for a pick on top, and then I could rotate mid. If we can't find anything, I'll just put some vision down, and we could look for a pick in mid. That was my thought process because we knew Ziggs backed and Karma hasn't backed, and so we could that was my thought process because we see Scion still at top side. We could still look for a pick on him. If that doesn't work, we could go mid.
One thing
Because we already know because
um,
bot back, so there's no opportunity to look for a pick on bot.
the way you look at it is like by the time you're going to be able to do it is like okay, right now you had the wrong read on the jungler because jungle is not going top side.
Yeah.
He's rotating bot side. The second
that's
thing is
bad.
like Trundle is just backing. So by the time Trundle backs and goes top, the Scion's gonna crash his wave. He's probably gonna put down a ward in river, and if you're gonna wait for that long, that's just you're just wasting a lot of resources. So for this play, it's just better for you to just go back bot lane, maybe walk with your jungler, try to look for a play but mid lane. If not, then we can also look for a tower dive bot. We can set up deep wards bot side. Those are also options, better options I would say for this this instance.
You need your vision bot side, not because you're looking to make a play on top or on bot, but because the next objective is the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. The the next team fight will happen around the next objective. Unless something goes unexpected and like people make mistakes, which we're not really setting up our vision based on like just randomness like that happening. We want to set up our vision around like what's probably going to happen. We will probably have a fight at Dragon, and if we don't, it's going to be because we've already won the vision game at Dragon, and they have no hope of contesting, right? Or vice versa. With Dragon coming up in 90 seconds, you're going to want all of your vision on this side of the map. Top lane will be weak side. Ideally, that will be Trundle.
Okay.
But you're not warding until your jungler has finished your camps, and then you go ward together, right?
Okay.
So this is how it's done. The jungler finishes his camps, and until that point, you're kind of just waiting with your mid laner. You're kind of just here shadowing your mid laner. If a potential kill opportunity opens up on the Syndra, you take it. Or you're just here to counter gank, right? But you're kind of shadowing. Like Ezreal's fine down here. Like first of all, he's walking back. The wave's going to slow push into him, but he's fine to be on his own. He is in no threat of being dove as long as you can give him like a pink ward here or something, or he could ward himself here. He has no wards at all, so you would have to drop a ping for him. And if he doesn't have vision, by the way, he does have to back off the tower until they locate Sinzal. But you're just chilling with your mid laner until your jungler has finished the camps and is ready to escort you for vision. And so then when that happens, you and the jungler walk into the mid lane, force the mid wave, like just
You push.
you brute force it, you shove it,
Yeah.
because 3-on-1, she cannot contest it. You shove it, and then you rotate and you get vision together. You get all the deep vision that you want, then you have perfect vision for Dragon.
Okay.
It's the difference between solo queue and competitive is that you can do that every time.
Okay.
In solo queue, you have to count on your teammates to know that and do it with you, and they're never going to do that, right? Not until Grandmaster.
Okay.
Heralding mid, by the way, was correct. That's good.
We got shit on here.
Because take a look at where the vision is and where the fight is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Vision is probably the biggest advantage that you can give yourself without gold and XP, right? If you have better vision, you have a much higher chance of winning the fight. Same goes for gold, and same goes for XP. But even without somehow finding gold or XP, you can often, not always, but you can often influence your chances by just having better vision. If they can't see anything and you can see everything, you have the freedom to make well-informed decisions, and they don't.
Okay.
That was a brave flash in.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back. So we're coming off of a reset here, right? Everyone but Trundle is resetting because we lost that fight and we died. So what's the next play? What are we thinking about now?
What are we thinking? Right now, like I think we were thinking just normal. We just play out until like the next dragon.
Autopilot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of doing whatever. And this is the trap that you have to avoid falling into, especially in competitive, right? In solo queue, it kind of happens that way. Whatever. I don't care about solo queue. In competitive, you always want to have a plan. You want to be thinking about what's the next play? How can I set it up? How can I influence that play being successful, right? What things do we need? What things don't we need? You know, do we need to call it off because of X or Y reason? Whatever. So what should have been the next play? If we go back.
I mean, I guess we could wait for Nocturne's ulti and like look for a play mid. With Leona and stuff.
You could, yeah. But again, that sort of requires them to make a mistake.
I think as a support, I'm supposed to this time I should be hitting top lane because Zhao most likely will back and go for his top camp because he also sees Trundles pushed in. And so in a sense we allows Trundle to like know, oh, this guy Xin Zhao's gonna come, and so he could back like so he could avoid the gank, and also mid lane can also avoid the gank.
Hmm.
And then we maybe perhaps like if they really hard engage, we could also counter engage because bot lane tower is gone. So
Correct.
there's
Bot
no
lane
point-
tower is gone.
Yeah, so there's no point going bot lane. So why not just put some visions in their jungle, and have more information, and then possibly look for a gank either mid because mid is pushed up.
She is pushed up, but she's not going to be pushed up
Yeah,
for very long.
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
She's only going to be here till this wave is gone. And this wave's going to be gone by the time you get there, right?
Yeah.
So she's either going to take a reset or she's going to go like get vision, back off.
Get
She's not going to stand here, right?
Else like after before that, correct, or is it like slightly wrong? Like,
well, I think you're thinking too much in terms of, you know, who can I make a play on? Like, who can I kill?
Okay.
Which I get it, but you should be thinking about like what's the next objective?
Okay.
And what is the next objective? What can we take?
Herald.
Herald. Yeah, exactly. Particularly because, as we talked about, we're playing against Ziggs,
Yeah.
and it's
we have to
super
track-
hard to break a mid outer. And
Okay.
this is the most valuable tower in the game, in the early mid game, because this unlocks vision, right? It is so much harder to control vision around the middle of the map when this tower is up. So much harder. Because everything is just defendable, right? You can't just like hold wards like here and here like freely, and then obviously this like deep lane ward is super high value if you can get it. None of that's available to you when this tower is up. You also take away their, not entirely take away, but you reduce their opportunity to contest the mid wave, so you're more likely to have mid prio. So a couple things. If Herald is the next play, what are the appropriate lane assignments?
I mean, Trundle goes to the opposite side. I stay mid, and then LeBlanc top.
Correct. Yep. That's exactly right. Ideally, LeBlanc has TP, so that based on tempo, you would have the option of sending the LeBlanc bot lane, right?
Mhm.
Particularly because Trundle does not currently have TP. And this is part of why having double TP is so nice, because you end up alternating who's weak side based on like who had to TP last, and who had to TP last is usually whoever was last weak side because they had a TP cross map, right?
Mhm.
So if you had TP, it's a no-brainer. You go here because your top laner hasn't reset yet, and you can at least collect the wave. Based on their health bar, maybe you can kill them too. But yeah, we're gonna set up our vision here. We're probably gonna have to take vision twice because this is 2.5 minutes out. So the way that we do that is the first time that we get vision, we get deep vision, and then instantly you'll recall just to refresh your wards, right? Because we expect that in that time they will come up and clear out vision, right? Also, we really want the Ezreal in mid lane because Ezreal can contest the mid wave much better than LeBlanc can, right?
Yeah.
Much better, much better. When you have a neutral lane and there's no minions yet, like they haven't crashed, Ezreal has the freedom to walk forward because everyone has to obey. Everyone has to respect him because you can't just sit there in an open lane with Ezreal. He'll just poke you away with Qs. So he walks you back to your tower, and then you're hitting wave first, and that's how you have mid prio, right?
Yeah.
Ezreal is potentially the best champion in the game at contesting the mid wave. I think in a vacuum, Ziggs is also extremely good, but he's better at clearing it, but he's not as good at contesting it, right? Like if you were to just put Ezreal here and Ziggs here, who's gonna walk to their tower? It's always gonna be the Ziggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna have to walk back to his tower. So you get to hit wave first. I don't know if that made sense to you guys, but If it did, let me know, because it's a hard concept to explain. But it's important. You want whoever can contest the wave the best to be in the mid lane, because mid prio is so important in the mid game. But yeah, those would be the ideal lane assignments. And then you would get your vision up here, and then first dead wave, like waves have been cleared, and like not a lot is happening, or you have an opportunity, you would take the reset. But there's no reason for you to be bot lane, because like there's no tower. Ezreal's in no danger. Just give him ward here, or he can even ward himself, or he could freeze the wave here, whatever he needs to do. Obviously he should be mid lane right now, but that's okay. So if we're gonna do this Herald,
I mean,
Nelson,
we weren't really talking about the Herald, so we didn't set it up. But yeah, go ahead.
That's fine.
Sorry.
That's fine. We're gonna talk about it now, though, right?
Mhm.
Like, how do we want to set it up? If we could, if we could pick 3 wards and a pink ward, where would we place them?
First word to mind is probably the chicken area, maybe in the bush. So
Like up here?
We can't
Uh,
see your cursor, by the way.
Center of my screen.
Yeah.
More bottom, but yeah, I believe. Actually,
Here, let me
that-
let me share my screen instead of the game.
Yeah.
okay.
There we
Yeah.
go.
That works.
Okay. I wasn't thinking of that area. I was thinking more of bottom red buff. It's more like the area.
Like here?
Yeah, because that I could have greater vision of the chickens, and then maybe and then top side, at red buff, the red here. Maybe if I had more backup, maybe like in the other bush.
Like here?
Yep. And then one more word, might be a top at like either the tri bush or a tri bush.
Or like up here?
Yeah.
I tend to agree with you. I think you've pretty much hit it.
Okay.
I would love a ward here. I would like a ward here,
Yeah.
but I would love it if it was here. But
Yeah.
this is harder to get, right?
Yeah,
it's
this
more
is hard.
dangerous.
I need backup. Like same thing with the other one. Like preferably
This one's harder to get than this
yeah,
one, right?
Yeah.
And it depends on lane states, depends on how many people are escorting you. But
Mhm.
let's say we get a ward here, we get a ward here,
Here.
which this one doesn't have to be here, as long as it's like
Yeah.
over here somewhere is fine.
Yeah.
Because it gives you the same information, just a little bit later, but it gives you the same information. Firebrush is good, though it's not mandatory.
It's
Yeah. It's good, but a better ward than this one would be like right here.
Here. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like we know when they are rotating.
Yeah, here or like over here. It tells you if they're rotating to the river. And then the highest value pink ward that you can possibly have is not in the pit.
It's in the bush, the small bush.
It's right
Or
here.
is it- It's right here. Okay.
Because this protects this protects you from them seeing
Yeah.
when you rotate into and out of river, right? When it prevents them from knowing if you're going to contest the wave,
Okay.
if that makes any sense. This is-
Uh,
For dragons and for barons, this is also the most valuable pink ward.
I'm slightly confused in the sense how this pink word is valuable again. Is it it allows us to rotate without them knowing?
Let's
That
say
would-
this whole side of the map is dark to them, right?
Yep.
Because you did a great job with your sweeper, and
Yeah.
you took away all this vision, right?
Yep.
And let's say neutral waves are meeting,
Mhm.
and you can see what they're gonna do. You can see that they want to contest the wave,
Okay.
but we're all over here, right?
Okay.
And like Herald's up,
Yeah.
but they don't know if we're on it or not, right?
Mhm.
If this is pinked,
Yeah.
and they try to ward it, right? They can't see anything,
Yeah.
so they don't know if it's safe to contest the mid wave, and because they don't know if it's safe,
Okay.
because we could just come out and contest
Yeah,
the mid
yeah,
wave, we could
yeah.
come out and engage.
Okay.
Because they don't know if it's safe, they can't contest the mid wave, and so we have the freedom to come out and contest it, or just
Or-
not, and
or-
they have to wait.
Yeah. Okay. They have to. Okay. They have to wait until they see us in a sense.
Right,
But so
exactly.
essentially we have the first move in the chess game. We have the first move.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it. Because it only takes one person to do the herald, but it
Okay.
still takes 3 to 4, maybe even 5 on the same side of the map. So
Yeah.
you could have your jungler sitting in the herald pit doing the herald, but you could have everyone else sitting here.
Okay.
Right.
Or
And even though you're not hitting the herald, you're helping him take the herald
yeah. Okay.
while still threatening the mid lane, and they
Okay.
can't see that.
Okay. Okay.
Because the other play, if they can see this and they see that you're on herald,
Yeah.
what they can do is either try to come in here into dark vision and contest, which would be usually a terrible play, right?
Mhm.
Ideally, you don't contest anything that you don't have vision on. Like the fight is usually won over the vision, not over the objective itself.
Okay.
So if they can see it, if they know that you're not here, if they have this ward, they have the freedom to not only shove the wave but push towers, right? They can take tempo in the lane and just shove, and you have to come answer, right?
Mhm.
It's a very key. It's the same concept for Baron, by the way. This exact same thing applies to Baron.
Any objectives, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. But Baron is the biggest by far.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Did that make sense to everyone, by the way? I know I'm just mostly talking to Nelson here, but this concept goes for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. I apologize if I'm dragging this out. I know it's taking a while.
No. That makes sense.
All right, we find a nice pick. Take the Herald. I hope to God you guys drop this in mid lane.
Did we?
I don't remember.
Could have just before we recalled.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
We could just all force it because all we have to do is let it get its charge off. That's
Mhm.
it. Then we take a reset. That would be ideal.
Okay.
You can freeze this because there's nothing to do right now. Is there a reason you chose not to? Or did you just not think about it?
Oh, no, I did not. I probably autopiloted.
Yeah.
It's just, I should have
Juicy
thought
back
about
line.
freezing it.
What is the next play, by the way?
dragon.
Dragon.
Okay, so let's go back to this actually real quick. How do we want to handle this wave? Tell me about this wave. Like how, now that you're thinking about it, how should you handle the wave? More than just freezing it.
Slow push, time it for Drake, right?
Exactly. Yes. We want to shove it, but like only when we have to, right? Let's collect as much gold as we can and deny as much as we can, but then have it shoved exactly when we want, right? Because we have control over this wave. We get to choose what to do with it. So we get to choose when to hand it back to them, because they screwed it up, right? They shoved it, but they weren't able to crash it, and there's nothing that they can take for us having to collect a wave. So we can just chill. So you can shove it when Dragon comes up, or, and this is often more important, but you have to make a real-time decision, or when our support needs to go get vision, right? We can choose to shove it at the moment that we have to rotate to help the support get vision.
Okay.
We'd save our mid tower here. This is nice. What do the items look like? Fairly even. How are these fights happening? Is it just fighting over nothing?
I I think we
Fiesta,
were fighting.
basically.
We're just misplaying. I think during the fights, we're just misplaying. Okay. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, there's randoms fighting. Okay, never mind. I lied.
I mean,
Okay.
like over here, I think the idea was like, we see Sai on top, so like we have our top laner close by, so we can pressure to take the mid lane tower. But like our top laner was way too aggressive since we weren't
Mm.
really close by.
Oh, give me a break, Ravi.
I'm just saying.
This is too aggressive though, because you're on vision, isolated, too far from your team, but you can't see what's over here, right? Xin Zhao and Syndra could be here. We don't know. And hitting this is really dangerous for this exact reason, right? But yeah, I think you know that was a misplay, so it's fine. Okay, clearing this ward is huge value if we can, right? But we're forced to make a choice here. Either we can protect the mid tower, or we can be at dragon first, right? If you think about how Ezreal works, right? The champ is so much more powerful when they have to come to you than you have to go to them, right? Because you can always hit your skill shots when they have to run towards you, but if you have to move towards them, way harder, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to win this team fight over the Baron, it's critical that you're on you're between them and the dragon. Did I say Baron? Dragon. So clearing this ward would be high value, but like you have to be here for this. But that comes at the cost of the mid tower, so you have to make a choice, right?
Yeah, I ended up choosing none. I was like, I'm gonna protect mid and go there, which is
You're like awkwardly in between,
yeah. That was my
which-
bad.
which happens. But if we were to go back just a little bit, this is kind of the same concept that I talked about before. If we're to protect this bush, like we can just instead of you having to be over here and hit the wave like from where you are, we can just all be over here, pop out of this bush that we have complete vision control over. We have full vision control over here. We can pop out of the bush when the waves meet and like kill it from the angle. And then, like, as soon as the wave's gone, we can go back to the dragon, and we're still in that position where they have to come into us while having cleared the wave, so we can't lose our tower, right?
Yeah. So we should
That's
have
how you want
like
to play this.
we should have like tried to clear the wave as a team.
Yes, absolutely. It takes all four of you to clear the wave.
Okay.
Not because of your abilities, but like you need to be able to protect the Ezreal and whoever else is hitting the wave to like clear the wave. That was a nice pick. But instead, it kind of just turns into like a bit of a fiesta.
Yeah.
They're just kind of dying for
It's so sweet.
random shit.
No, he 1v4s here, dude. That was so ridiculous.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
I'm gonna keep watching up till the first Baron, and then we'll end the review there. You can see the second game. Let me go back.
We don't necessarily have to watch the second game. I'm pretty sure our draft was just super bad in the second game and just we didn't really have any kind of plan. I mean,
Yeah, you had no,
our plan was just like don't die. That's
you had
basically
no
what,
lane to play to. Yeah.
yeah, so that's basically what we could have done. And then like mid to late game, I think we made a couple mistakes and then afterwards there was just like no way we could have done anything.
hmm
Because like there's no front line, so if we're behind and they can just engage on us, like that's it.
We never used this herald, by the way. I guess we're gonna drop it because it's gonna time out in bot lane, but also, why are you moving bot right now? Was there a play you're looking for a play down?
I saw the Syndra overpushed a bit. And yeah, I saw the Syndra overpush, so wait. Yeah,
Yeah.
Syndra. Trundle's
Okay.
hitting there, so I could at least stop her back and maybe, but I'm not sure. Maybe that was a bad play too. It turned
Maybe.
out great. I turned out great, but like there might be a possibility the fact that Zinzao or Karma or like any of their other people be there too, and I might have walked into a 1v2. But
Well, here's the thing: you get the kill. It's a nice kill, but you now have no vision on Baron, and that's a problem,
okay.
right? Because a kill 20 minutes into the game
Doesn't mean
is nice, but Baron wins games.
okay.
The game, League of Legends, is all about taking the Baron, making yourself as strong as you can for when Baron spawns, and winning the Baron fight. The game just comes down to Baron. That's the nature of it. Any other win condition is niche. Dragon Soul is not nearly as valuable as Baron. Elder Dragon is not as valuable as Baron. Baron is king.
Really?
Yes.
I thought
Even
Elder is
against-
way better. Like
Elder is more power, but what happens when you're like? Does that power help you at all if all you're doing is clearing Baron minions? Like you can't fight because you can't. You
so
can't.
you're talking about like in terms
Yeah.
of like a trade. Okay.
Yeah, Baron is always more valuable.
So if you had to choose,
Even-
you'd take Baron instead
Yes.
of Elder.
Every time. Which a lot of people get that wrong, but Baron every time.
Even for Soul, like Infernal Soul or Mountain Soul, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like maybe that's better, just the sense that maybe if we have Wave Clear, maybe Soul's better.
Yeah, there are exceptions. Like if you have, Sivir, Ziggs, Azir,
Okay.
things can
And-
change a little
and-
bit.
Yeah, and it's Infernal Soul or Mountain Soul, like that would.
Yeah,
like,
then it can change, but I would
Okay,
go
but
into every game in the future with the mindset Baron is king,
Okay.
and you will win more games.
That I understand. Because I've just sometimes heard like Dragon like Soul is just very important, but like I know Infernal Soul is really good, so is Mountain, but like the other two Souls aren't that great. Like Ocean is situational, and Cloud is niche. That's
Yeah. They're strong buffs, and they do last for the whole game, but like. Okay, you get a drag, like let's say it's like 28 or 29 minutes into the game, right? And we have the choice between securing Dragon Soul or taking Baron. Like this is a nice buff that lasts for the rest of the game, or this is an insane buff that probably lasts for the rest of the game because Baron lets you end the game, right?
It's probably
And
because it's I think like the reason why I'm putting Soul over Baron is just that probably because we're not using Baron good enough, and so sometimes we usually
Yeah.
waste Baron. I think that's the reason why I'm putting Soul over.
Closing a game with Baron is not easy. Like it's a major skill in League,
Okay.
but it is one you will learn in time. And when you get good at it, you will win like 80% of your games off of one Baron. And if not, you will put yourself in a situation where you've done so much damage with the first Baron that you have guaranteed yourself the second Baron, and then you win off the second Baron. A lot of LCK games go long because, like,
Okay.
because it takes them multiple Barons, because LCK defensive macro is really good, but the first Baron, they don't end the game off of it, but the first Baron earns them the second, and then sometimes that earns them the third, and then they end the game on the third. But
Okay.
it's not that, like, it was the third Baron that won the game. Like, oftentimes it's just decided by the first one, and then everything after that is, like, inevitable.
Okay.
And if you think about what Elder does for you, most of the time, what Elder does is it wins the Baron fight for you. Like, and then you end the game with the Baron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we started it. Okay. What are we playing for here? What are we thinking about? Like, what's the goal? We've started Baron. What do we want?
My
We
goal.
should've went after Ziggs. Because he can ult the Baron.
He can, yeah.
So, our goal should be not to actually take Baron, but actually to take out one of them because Trundle is bot lane
Yeah.
and he's taking tower, right? So like right now I could have easily R one of them and then E and then LeBlanc or Ezreal could just one shot them, and then we could just back off, reset, or continue taking the Baron or something, while Trundle keep pressuring bot lane and getting like 2 towers and maybe even a hit. I think
All you have to do here, by the way, the best play you can make is just back off. Because
Back off?
you've already gotten exactly what you want.
Okay.
Their whole team came here, and Trundle's at the tower, right?
Then do we
So-
ever back off Baron? Because
They steal
Trundle-
it here. The
Yeah.
Ziggs are.
This is what you don't want to do. What you don't want to offer them is a flip. You
Yeah,
don't
flip,
you don't want to give them the chance of coming back
yeah. Okay.
like just on a Baron steal, right?
Mhm.
You can start the Baron, threaten them, say, "Hey, you must answer us here," and then by the time they get here, you can just be like, "Haha, psych." Trundle's
Like,
pushing
we just
bot lane.
we just back off. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then it regens to full health. They're all here, and then they're like, "Well, shit, we lost the tower, and we didn't get anything for it, right?"
hmm
And then
I think
if
we
they,
were
and then
just-
if they reset, then you start it again, and you're like,
Yeah.
you have to pick, right?
I think we were just looking for kills at this because I had R, I had Flash, Ignite. LeBlanc was also
Did we
there.
look for kills? I think like our idea was like they didn't have a jungler or a smite, so like
Yeah.
we can take it.
Okay.
But like we underestimated Ziggs ulti damage. Like,
There's a few champs in the game you have to respect when it comes to Baron. 2 of them are on their team, Ziggs and Syndra.
Mm.
Both of them can outsmite you, and so you don't want to flip this.
Syndra.
What's the third one?
No, there's like a handful of them, but
Oh,
Like-
okay.
Syndra can't outsmite.
oh,
Could
oh
you
yeah,
ult the Baron?
No,
E,
WQE can all come out in one frame, and it will do over 900 damage.
Oh. Okay.
There's a few more that can do it. LeBlanc
Jinx
can
R.
kind of do it. Jinx R can do it. Yep.
Didn't they nerf Jinx?
They
That-
nerfed it, but it's still tough.
It's still-
like it can do
still
a lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
so possible.
But there's other champs like Gragas, like full AP Gragas can do it.
RQ. Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of damage that can come out in a single frame can be really tough to outsmite. And even if you smite for more than, like even if like they can only do 800 damage, but you can do 900 damage with smite, like you're betting on that health bar sitting between 800 and 900 for long enough for you to react to it. And how often does that happen, right? Like it's not easy to smite just because it goes to 860 for 3 frames. Don't bet on your ability to do that. Take the sure win, which is just back off,
Backing off. Okay, just
Yep.
backing off.
because you've already gotten what you need. So let's see what you guys actually do.
He didn't go in. Wait. Did he smite early?
I'll slow it down.
Because I saw 100 HP.
Yeah.
Oh,
He did. That wasn't even
100.
close.
It's early, but like look at
What
how
time,
little
man?
time there
Yeah,
was, and
yeah.
I'm at 0.25x.
I feel like
Right.
if he waited for another 100 HP, like it would have been stolen. Like it would have been stolen by Ziggs, regardless.
Like see
'Cause-
this in real time, right? This is not easy. This is why jungling is very, very terrifying.
Ziggs ultimate does 1100 damage.
Yeah.
To like objectives, like it's just insane.
That's a flip. That is a straight up flip.
We should have just jumped on Ziggs.
We did.
Yeah.
We killed him.
No, but we didn't do it fast enough. Like
yeah,
me and
before-
Leona could have done it way faster, but we just didn't. I guess we weren't thinking. I was
And
just
this is-
sitting there doing nothing.
This is a great play by Trundle too. Just take the free dragon.
Uh,
But he also could have done this if we just like backed off, right? because they would still have to be on the Baron side of the map. They can't just walk away. So Trundle was just like, okay, well, I'll take the dragon. I'd prefer hitting tower and just like pushing and threatening to end or take the inhibitor, but this is good too.
We don't get the dragon in the end.
Well, that's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
When
we
I like
probably
started doing it, since I was already there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then this happened. Yeah, no, we just. I think that was the turning point. Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop the review there. Do you guys want to go over the second game or not?
No. Just do this one, to be honest. The second game was just. Or do you guys want to do the second game?
Not
Not
really.
really.
I
Yeah,
think
me
the
neither.
second one was draft was pretty garbage. We were just looking for late game, and then
Yeah.
we didn't achieve late game.
Yeah, you guys had a weird draft here. I'll take a look at it. One thing I was talking to Robbie and Moses about before some of you guys got here was it's fine to let you guys to let yourselves have a bad draft. Make sure, and I learned this lesson early on when I was coaching UCL team, prioritize champions that you're comfortable with and play styles that you're accustomed to over winning drafts. Because if you take the best draft in the world and put it in the hands of people who don't know how to play it, it doesn't matter, right? If you can't play the champions or if you can't play the comp, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I put together like the best Caitlyn Morgana comp you've ever seen in like the perfect scenario for my UCL team once, and they had no clue how to execute it. It was a disaster, and it was my fault. It was like I won draft really hard on paper, but I lost draft when you consider the players that I have, right? Because they just couldn't play this style. They didn't know how to do it. One or two of them were on champions they weren't super comfortable on. They were like, yeah, I can play that, but they weren't like, yeah, I can play that in any matchup, any day, anytime. So make sure you guys play what you're good at. And maybe this is like all champs that you're good at, and it was just like, just happened that it's a terrible draft, but I wouldn't stress the drafts too much. I think that's a trap.
Okay.
Don't worry about draft too much. Make sure you're playing stuff that you know how to play. I think Moses, you mentioned the Echo's like not a great champ in competitive. Like, why not? If he's one of your best champs, absolutely he's a good champ in competitive. Play him.
Does that mean we bust out the Trinamir now?
Hell yeah, dude. Absolutely.
They always ban Trinamir though.
Yeah,
Well,
true.
No, but just in case, like.
I mean, they
We
didn't
have
ban
no
it
luck.
this game.
True.
They banned it last game, I'm pretty sure. Or the second
the-
game. They
point
banned
is
it
ban
once,
a lot.
didn't they?
They abandoned the
Saw it
first
banned
game. They
before.
banned the first game.
Yeah.
Oh, never
Yeah.
mind. Oh yeah, they did.
Essentially,
I
we
had-
to play like the best R style, right? In a sense.
Yes. Come up with a style that works for you guys.
We
Play
don't
the
have to, like-
champions that work for
yeah.
you guys.
Okay.
And work with what you got. Because that will always yield the best results.
Okay.
Don't worry about picking up, this meta pick or that meta pick. I have tried to do that with a lot of players,
It doesn't work.
and it doesn't work. It really doesn't. Players have styles and habits and preferences that are hard to break, and you can't just say, well, this champ's 6% better on this patch, we have to be playing it. It's not worth it. Not worth it. Stay with what works for you.
Okay.
Other than that, I got nothing else.
Okay. Thank you then.
You guys are a cool team. I hope you guys find a jungler. If you need any help with that, I might be able to lend a hand.
Okay.
I could reach out to some people, see what I find.
Yeah, I would take that hand, by the way. Please help me.
Okay. I'll see
I,
what I can do.
I have like so far just one tryout for Tuesday, but I'd rather have more options.
Yep. And jungle is the hardest role to recruit for, dude. Let me tell you.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I don't really care about the other roles. Like, I need a good jungler who
Hear that, guys?
communicates. Yeah, dude, you
You're
were
like
all
the
like
Gabby.
my second choices or third. I don't want to really work with all of you, but you know, I got what I got.
Nah, I was the first choice.
Nah.
All right. Well, take it easy, fellas. It's good to meet all of you.
Peace.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Yeah,
See you
thanks,
guys.
man. Yeah, see ya.
That dude sucked. No, I'm just kidding.